Well, we've got the doors here. Picked them up the other day from Home Depot. They're pre-hung. Just need to install them, and I'll try and get a video of that. That's a 28-inch, 30-inch, and this is 32. And the ceiling up here is 100% done being painted. Looks pretty good. I'm not 100% happy with it. I'll show you why in a second. And then the lower ceiling, I had to patch these bevel joints. Some of them I didn't fill in enough. You could see a little bit of shadow lines, like that one you could see. So I patched it, and then you can't even see that anymore. So you could see my patch because it's on top of primer. I'll have to sand that a bit and then reprime it again, and then put the ceiling paint on like over here. And then these walls obviously need painted. That's the paint color for the walls. So that's one coat. That needs a second coat. And then those corbels will get, that's just primer on them now. They'll get another coat of like a glossy paint. And then back here, it's painted underneath there. In the process of hooking up the sink and the faucet. And then this will be tile. So you can see it looks pretty good. And you can't see in there because that door's blocking it. So I'll show you this way. But I painted back in there, even though it's unfinished, so that's what the walls will look like. I just put one coat. But the seam looks pretty nice. Look at that. You can see where it is on the end, but you can't see that seam on the drywall. Obviously you're not supposed to. Really, I'm not happy with the way this looks when you've got the lights turned off. You know, you can see the ceiling, and over right here looks good, right? And then I come over here and it looks like a normal ceiling. It's all painted, but if you're like me and you notice things, well, what's that? And right here, you can see going from left to right, a seam right there, a seam right there, and this seam. And if I come up here, you could really see it. Now this is because it's harsh lighting. You know, so these seams are built up a little bit. And what we're doing is, this is the only light in here besides that little window. And it's shining at an angle. So it's actually casting a shadow. That's why we're able to see these joints. And you could just barely make out the, right there, right along the lights, there's a bevel joint. And this one I can't see, there's one there. So, just because of the harsh lighting, you can see that. Now if I turn on those lights, well, it goes away. I can see it a little bit. Now that you know what to look for, you can see it. These walls, you can still see these joints. That's because there's only one coat of primer. 2 coats of paint. That'll look good from here. However, in this you can barely see there's a joint there. You can just see the color difference. If I shine a light on the side of it, well, all of a sudden, you can see it a lot better. You see that shadow line, that vertical shadow line right there that goes all the way up it? That's the bevel on the sheet of drywall. Because I didn't build it out enough. That side looks better. But I just kind of filled in that bevel thinking it would be fine, whereas you actually need to come out a little bit past it. And so what I did is I fixed that one, and that looks perfect. It has another coat of primer so you can't see the color through it. And even with the light shining down on it, it looks really good, like really good. This one looks good, horizontal. This one, same issue, I had shadows. But holding a light on the side is going to show you every single imperfection. So overall it looks pretty good, but a lot of these tall bevel joints that I was saying, look at all these imperfections I can now see. Screw holes that were not sanded great. Well, turn the lights on, you can't see them at all. You shine a light on the side of it, well now look at, I could see exactly where the mud was. even though it was really thin. So this got me thinking, this house was built 10 years ago by professionals, you know, and they did the drywall, professional drywallers, and looks good, right? You got, again, sunlight, which is obviously the brightest, best kind of light, is shining in at an angle, and so that'll reveal all the imperfections. The lights are off, so you can see everything. And look how good it looks, right? Up there, paint looks a little weird. This looks great, right? Well, it's not until you start shining a light on it that you can see that there's just as many imperfections in this professional work as in my work. So what I did is I went around last night when it was dark outside, so there was no other light coming in besides the flashlight that I was holding. And I just got up on a chair and I just kind of shined the light at a sharp angle down the ceiling, on the walls, just to kind of see how perfect is the professional's work. And probably can't see it on the camera, but I can see 1, 2, 3. I can see all their bevel joints now that I look at it more carefully. These corners look disastrous. You can see all the screws. This wall looks pretty good with the light shining on it, right? But once you look at it closer, they've got, well, this wall is pretty good, but you can see some screw holes where they didn't sand. That archway looks terrible. So that makes me feel a little bit better about the fact that my work doesn't look perfect down there, but I don't look at that as an excuse to leave it like that. So I'm going to fix it the best I can, and you know, if it's not 100% perfect, that's fine. It doesn't need to be, but as long as it doesn't look bad. Alright, so you can see I patched, well, yesterday I patched all these vertical seams, and they look a lot better. I know you can't really see that too great, but you're not supposed to be able to see it. It looks a lot better. No shadow lines. This needs to be sanded. I hit this joint in the ceiling, a couple of butt joints over there, and we'll sand it one of these days and we'll see how it looks. Drywall looks real nice on this wall. That's just a shadow from the door. But looking down, can't see any joints. There's 3 vertical joints on that wall. Can't see any of them. So I don't know, I'm just happy with the way the drywall came out. Everything looks really nice. Corners came out, they look a little sloppy because of the paint, but the drywall is super good. This wall looks perfect, so yeah, the only thing I wasn't happy with was that. But like I said, there will be something in front of that anyway. Yeah, so this is the heater. It says it heats up to 1,000 square feet. And it's pretty nice. Changes colors. You could turn that off, I guess. But even though it's like, well, it's still spring, it's not summertime yet, but it's been in the 80s the last couple of days, like really hot out there and humid. And I'm freezing down here right now. It's cold. So with this, you know, it'll keep it nice and warm in here throughout the winter, and then I don't think we'll need any AC during the summer, but if we do, we'll put a dehumidifier down here and open the windows with a fan, so I don't think that'll be a worry. So we have the bathroom flooring installed. My dad did most of this because I had to go to work, so I just only helped start it and then he finished it. But it goes really quick. It's just one long side and one short side of each one is sticky, and they just kind of stick together. And then there's an underlayment underneath it, so it's it's a floating floor. Nothing is attached to the walls or to the floor. It's just attached to itself. So, looks really good though. It matches the walls nicely. Alright, well that's where I'm going to end this video. I know you weren't able to see a whole lot because I was just so busy with school and everything. I didn't take a lot of videos, and I also didn't do most of the painting. But as you can see, everything's painted. All the coats are done in the bathroom. Doors are installed. This one's been taken off so we could paint it. Ceiling's good. Couple spots I'm not super happy with, but it looks good, I think. We still have to build this thing. There's one shadow line right here that's annoying. I guess the mud was too thick there. You can see it if you look like this. It looks worse on camera, but we'll have something at the bottom of the steps there anyway. It's just from the lights directly above it. And then the TV nook. That door is mounted. Got the switch covers on. Couple spots that I need to touch up, fill in with mud or whatever. So there's that, and then inside the closet, and the doors came out real nice. We obviously have to get the hardware on. We have to paint them, put the trim on. All this drywall looks super good. Look how good the ceiling looks. We have to repaint some spots that we missed on the second coat we did there. You can see where it's a little thin. That's a heater. It should heat this whole space. Works really nicely. But all these wall joints are invisible. I did a good job on those ones, but the rest of the drywall looks pretty good. But this looks like perfect. bar is just about done. We have to trim out those windows, get these lights hung after we patch that paint on the ceiling. Here's the painted door, painted trim. There's a whole lot of trim. I forget how many feet of this we got, like 200 or a little less than 200 feet, I guess. And that goes on there just like that. So you paint it before you install it, and then, because you get like this side painted, and then what you do is you install it, fill in the nail holes, and then paint it again, but you don't have to worry about painting this side, because then you have to cut it in, so you just kind of paint the face of it. This is the tile. There's a bunch more upstairs. For back here, they're 3 feet long. And so that's the next step, is to install that. Here comes out 13 feet around, and then around this way. So that'll be coming up very soon. So the next video, you'll see that. You'll see trim. Be a lot more stuff to see, but I was just trying to get this stuff done, and I didn't really make a lot of videos. So yeah, that needs to be fixed, and then this, I need to put more mud in there. So other than that, everything looks good.